Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, stream just went live, by the way.
Yeah, let's keep it PC in here.
Yeah, don't get me banned that quickly.
Alright, let's see who finds the typo first.
Oh no.
Already a typo.
Hello, everyone.
Imagine.
Gonna tweet real quick.
Thank you for the sub, Mr. Pancake Turtle. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, thank you so much. Please, I'm busy trying to tweet. Doing important business. Okay, yeah, so we're just waiting until 3 p.m. EST, 1 p.m. or noon PST, and then we'll start. Yeah, just waiting for people to come in. Will this be on you? Yeah, this will be on Kita's channel.
Yeah, don't forget to local record.
Yeah, I have recording set to automatically record every single stream,
Okay.
so I can't possibly forget. Thanks for giving 10 subs, Fear CA.
A C press is a C press. You can't say it's only half. Unless you're doing an IL. But we aren't doing an IL.
Well, even if you're doing an IL, you would round it down for the IL, and you would round it up for the full game run.
Yes. People, memers in chat don't realize the entire half an A press thing is a notation thing and not an actual numerical thing. But people still want to meme it.
Because it's no fun if you don't meme it.
True.
There's a Lotad picture on stream. Top left.
Yeah, I wouldn't forget the Lotad.
Well, everyone's gonna have to keep track of their dungeons in their head.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I was trying to get a dungeon tracker on, but like I was trying to use a one of the rando trackers, but none of them like fit right and look kind of bad with oh, refresh chat box. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't quite work the way I wanted it to.
Get the mental notepad ready.
Okay, chat should be refreshed. The C button counter is going to be on the actual video. So I don't have to have it on the sidebar. Yes, we will have reminders of things you need to keep in the back of your mind, of course. You will need to take many mental notes, and it will be on the test. By the way, is audio balance good, chat?
Don't worry about my
No.
typing. That was the
It's a good
typing
audio.
was.
It's a good audio balance test.
Talking to check audio balance.
I will not type during the run.
Okay,
Oh,
if game
come on,
is
just little typing is a treat.
if game is a little quiet, this is just emulator music just for background noise before we start. Although actually I should do a quick audio test of the actual video. Alright, just this will be like minor spoilers of the intro. Alright, just quick audio test, guys. Does this audio balance sound right? Is the intro music too loud? A bit loud?
Hello.
Okay. How about now? Is this good? Is this good audio balance? Yeah. Good, good. Perfect, good. Alright. Alright. Now that I've spoiled the intro, I'm sorry, but that's good for now. Yeah, this is commentating a run. This will be this is watching a video. Only 7 minutes to get snacks. Yeah, make sure to get your snacks ready. Will there be a desync? Well, this is a video, so hopefully not. Although this can be played out back on GZ, but I
We kept the
assume
desync in the video.
yeah. Hopefully there's no video desync. Thanks for giving us a Buggle It. Oh, actually, let me do one more audio test. Kita, say something.
Hello.
Pancake Turtle, say something.
Hello.
Okay, is audio good? Chat, does that sound balanced? Yes. Kita needs to be louder.
It's probably fine. Once I start talking
Okay.
about stuff, I'll probably be louder.
Okay. Yeah, because I just had to turn you down a bunch. Is that... Chad, did that sound better? Did that sound more like good balanced audio. One guy, yeah, it's always one guy. Thanks, Barrington Bear. Thanks for the resub. Thanks for resub, Smug Dampe. By the way, I won't be reading subs and stuff during the actual run.
Which means sub right now. Everyone
Yeah.
in chat, sub right now.
If you don't do it right now, you're gonna get ignored. Thanks for
Heck, if
resub,
you
K
have a Twitch
plays.
Prime available.
Yeah. Thanks for the sub, Pi. Thanks for gifting a sub, Kenton. Thanks for the sub, 111. Thanks for resub, Wham Bam. She stole the van. Yeah, there will be a C button counter on the actual video. Thanks for resub, it's me, Star Woman. Thanks for gifting 5 subs, Lady Corgi. Thanks to the bits, Dark and Sky. Thanks for resub, Synchron. Rando after this? No. Thanks for resub, Zarathustra. Thanks for gifting a sub, Airglow. Thanks for the sub, Potatron. Thanks for the sub, Pushy Misumi. Length is under 3 hours, but no more details than that. Thanks for the sub, Iva. Thanks for the sub, Psychonautics. Thanks for resub, Chimney Baby. How many is question mark? Question mark is however many you want it to be.
If ZFG behaved, he does not know the answer. He's supposed to be blind.
I only did a peek like a few minutes into the run. I saw I spoiled myself knowing that it's non-zero.
Ooh.
Other than that though.
Well, now
You
chat
never
knows it's
behave,
not
do
zero.
Oh my god, I just spoiled it for chat. I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna press C.
The same story every time with CFG. He always looks at it.
I have to look at it for testing and for setting things up.
Just look at the intro.
Dude, the intro is full of black bars on the top and bottom, which make it so annoying to line things up properly. I have to look for a place where there's no letterbox targeting.
Oh yeah, when you count down, you'll have to do it out loud so that I can also
Okay.
play the video.
Oh, yeah, actually, wait, would it be good if I stream this through Discord? Maybe I can do that.
I got my own video. That way I don't have to like rely on internet.
Yeah. Pancake Turtle, what about you? Are you watching the video yourself?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I have
Okay.
it. I have it.
Alright, never mind. That's fine. Alright, so we're gonna start soon. 45 seconds. Yeah, is there anything wrong with the layout or audio that I should fix last second?
No, it's too late. It's perfect.
Everything, probably. Can you mute that guy's keyboard?
I'm not gonna type again. There's nothing I'm gonna type.
Alright, Kita just won't type during the run. It's okay.
Unplug the keyboard.
Alright, we're gonna start in just a second. Alright, is everyone ready? Alright, let me get this ready. Alright, are you two ready?
Minute late.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. Hey gamers, this is Kita, and today we have a very special playthrough of Ocarina of Time. All dungeons, low C. Have some people here to help me commentate.
Pancake Turtle. I made the majority of this test. Or low tat.
I'm ZFG. I don't know what's gonna go on in this run, but I can commentate some stuff. And I can ask questions, and I know some general OOT stuff.
Yeah, ZFG is blind to this run.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm going in just as blind as you guys.
Yeah, so, Faro is also an author of this, and we have other contributors that helped in the process, but those credits will come as, like, they come up. But basically, we can start by the definition of all dungeons, which is a normal speedrunning category. It's just beating all 8 of the main dungeons by stepping into the blue warp and reaching the end credits, which is pretty normal. But this run, we're trying to hit the C button as few times as possible, any of the C buttons. And C presses are used for using items that are equipped on C, actually equipping them on the pause screen, playing Ocarina songs, and like using C up, so like starting the Goma fight or Navi ISG. So, yeah. And people might be familiar with like low pause runs because we've done that before. Low C press is a lot more restrictive than that. Because if you think about it, if you pause twice, like if you do 2 pause in Majora's Mask, you're already pressing C 6 times just to do the equips, just to equip things to all the C buttons. And that's not even using the items, which are using like all throughout the run.
Yeah, so just to really hammer it in, to use an item, it's always at least 2 C presses. One to equip the item and one to use the item.
Yeah, exactly. So don't expect 0. Or 1.
There's more than 1, you spoiled that too.
Yeah. That's the only spoiler I'm gonna give. It's more than 1. I mean, this is an intro. I could give like some more clarifying information. This run is done on the N64 version, 1.0. That'll be relevant later. So,
Much later.
yeah, this is not done on Wii VC. This is made with GZ, which is the Ocarina of Time practice trainer made by Glank. We use that to record and play back inputs.
Which also means that this can be played back on console as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, it could be played back on console, and there's no splices or anything. It could be played back as one macro. I'll give another example of how to like think of like how you use C presses all the time. So like in Majora's Mask, even in a speed run, if you look at just the top of the clock tower alone, you have to press C 4 times to learn Song of Time, once to equip the ocarina, once to use the ocarina, and 4 times to play Song of Time. So just in that small section, you're already pressing C 10 times.
Yeah, there's like so many normal C presses that you wouldn't even think of. Like, it's for something like low pauses. It's much easier to think of how it obviously is very difficult to reduce the number of pauses, but it's easier to think about exactly where the pauses are going to be. But for C presses, there's like so many that are easy to just not even think about because they just are natural.
I saw a comment in the chat saying that inputs are probably reused for this low tab. I just want to reiterate that this thing was made entirely for today. Nothing is reused. Everything's done brand new for this task.
Yes, it was a lot of work. Mostly pancakes, turtles, inputs, but yeah, it was a lot of work. I'll actually give a little bit of history too. So, not too many people know about this. I mean, this game came out in 1998, but somehow we're getting our first low C press run in the year 2023. That's because low C is so impossible to wrap your head around. But in September 2009, Ring Rush, known Ocarina of Time router, whatever, came up with some routes. Take these with a huge grain of salt. This was 2009, but for any percent, just item usage, not even like all C usage, just limiting the amount of times you can use the items. Any percent was 11 C items, and MST, Medallion Stones Trials, which is kind of similar to all dungeons, was 76.
And that any percent was Ganondorf, any percent, I assume.
Yeah, it was like the normal like RBA one, I think.
Oh, okay. So even
like it had Door of Time skip at least. And this is 2009. Ganondorf did not exist in 2009. The only other history out of that whole time, so after 2009, we just never thought of again. In 2021, Faro, one of the co-authors, was looking into doing some of the dungeons low C. So that was kind of our starting point. And that was actually instrumental for us to do this because without it we wouldn't have had the idea to have this for this year. So everything kind of worked out.
Oh, the jump.
CFG, I'm seeing a lot of comments in chat about game volume.
Yeah, I just tried to turn game volume down. Hopefully it should be better now.
Okay.
But yeah, that jump slash is like, that's super precise, right? It's like you have to be like.
It's really dumb precise. You have to like jump in the right coordinates of the fence.
Yeah, I remember people were thinking like maybe this is finally a way to optimize Cocos more for RTA runs, and then no one could get it any kind of consistent.
It's because when you roll, you have quite a big variance on when you actually leave the ground there, and you have to leave the ground as close to the edge as you can. But if you're like 5 units away, and then next frame you'll be off, then you jump anyway. But you have to be like 1 unit away, and then.
Alright, you're gonna have to explain that fence clip and why you grabbed the ledge there.
So that's lunge storage, which is a relatively new trick. It's not super new anymore, but it is a way where you can store the lunge you get from a forward stab, and then apply it to your next slash, which in this case is a jump slash, which then lets us go a little bit further during the jump slash, allowing us to clip. We actually used it twice. There we used it with the ledge to exit Kakariko, and then we used it again with a damage lunge storage of the Tektite to clip into the wall in Death Mountain Trail. And we're doing all of this to collect some Skull Plus.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Skull swallows are not usually gotten outside of 100% context.
No, in fact, they mostly a waste of time in every other category.
We
But I
really
promise
want
it's
that gold
important.
rupee.
Yeah.
It's just the most efficient way of getting money.
We're playing on N64, so the Stone of Agony has a use. We need to know whether the hidden grottos are.
Don't say you're on N64. I saw those emulated graphics.
Well, this is on BizHawk,
Okay.
but it can be
It's
played
at
back on
least
a real
yeah.
N64.
Yeah, it's at least on 1.0.
Yeah, 1.0. That's important. Alright, how are we gonna get past these rocks?
Oh, we're just gonna swim past them. I don't see the real big problem here.
Yeah, so water extends infinitely downwards in this game. So if you clip out of bounds and swim under the map, you can swim under the water there and get past the waterfall without having to blow up the rocks.
So where are we going now?
Oh yeah, how are we gonna get past this waterfall? You need Zelda's Lullaby.
But that's a lot of C presses, Keith.
These
Yeah,
are things
that's
for
like
the chat to
what
think
is that?
about.
Seven C presses for Lullaby here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we need to
Every
learn it as
time.
well. It's at least one to die.
But thankfully that Coco gets you right past the waterfall.
This does not look like a low toad.
Yeah, this looks pretty optimized.
I put too much effort in, clearly. I'm disappointing.
Alright, diving game score.
How many dives?
One? Or well, I guess one extra dive, but not. Is it possible to get all 5 on the initial jump off the dive?
It is if you get really good RNG, but I grinded a long time for that RNG seed, so
All right, fair enough.
it seems very possible if you are
Oh.
like if you get the impossible RNG seed.
Danny in chat says it's not possible. Oh no, I remember Danny. I think Danny in Glitches and Stuff looked into this a while ago, and found like the exact like best possible optimal positions, and it wasn't quite enough.
Oh,
Playing again for rupees, I guess.
That's what
so
you
why are we
need.
playing it again?
Oh, is it not?
We
for
already got
rupees?
the scale.
It's for
Well, I mean,
rupees.
rupees are nice, but
Oh, you missed it. Oh, desync.
I missed it. Damn.
Oh no. Oh, we got a desync.
Oh, this roof is hard to grab. It's too far down. Even with scale, I can't reach it.
Oh, you got it. I got it. Okay, desync fixed.
I don't know about this TAS play around. I don't. If I was behind the wheel, it would look a lot different here.
Now this is a low tad.
I should have put this in the trailer.
Oh, he's moving.
So that's text transfer glitch. This version of text transfer glitch is actually exclusive to 1.0 and 1.1 because of King Sora's talk radius being changed in 1.2.
So that's when you like have a text box that's supposed to trigger an event, and then it forces an event to be triggered on some other NPC.
Yep, and in this case we use the mini game to trigger the text transfer glitch. And then we're leaving.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also Or it's N64 only as well, as in like on VC the culling range is different, so it wouldn't work anyway.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think so. Because yeah, VC camera's actually slightly different.
Oh, that's interesting.
Actually, no. Not for that trick. It doesn't matter for that trick. 1.0 works, and if you have 1.0 inject on VC, that still works. But some other things have different culling radius and
Oh,
VC.
so you got Zelda's letter, but also wanted to move King's Aura without using the letter, which is interesting.
Yes.
Because that saves 2 C presses.
Oh, that
Well,
is true.
two as in equipping and then using it.
Yeah.
In fact, moving King Sora saves another C press later.
Oh, there's
Just
one.
remember that. Write that down.
And that's the first C press. Did you guys catch it? We
Rip to
equipped our
everyone that thought it
second
was
bottle.
0.
Equipped the second bottle on C right. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh yeah, you got 2 separate bottles already.
I did.
It was
Oh,
so
we did,
fast that ZFG didn't even notice.
I noticed, but it didn't. I don't usually see runs that get both the King's Aura bottle and the Cocoa bottle.
It's important for later, I promise.
And the order that we got them in is also important. Don't think about it too much, but it is. But don't think about it.
It's surprisingly important, but don't think about it.
Write it down, but don't look at it.
Cover it with your pen after writing it down.
Alright, who's keeping track of how many skulls we got?
I want to say that's 8 or 9.
I lost count.
I think that was 9. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 9, yeah.
Alright, for those that are new to Ocarina of Time, you can skip the Door of Time without pressing C. That's just a thing that everyone does. There's nothing weird about it, just relax.
It's quite easy, in fact.
It's the
I've seen people
classic.
do it RTA.
So just a
Alright.
single C button press for the entire child section, only to equip Ruto's letter.
Lil Bro thinks there's only one child section.
Oh. No, wait.
Which
we can
there
go back
might
in
be.
time.
I'm not gonna spoil things. There might only be one.
There might only be one, but there could be 5.
Well, we're in a cutscene. ZFG, since you're blind to this, what do you think? How many C presses do you think, if you even thought about this challenge at all?
So I didn't think too much about it, but one thing I was thinking about is the bosses, and it seems like the bosses, at least a few of them, seem difficult to get around some of the C presses. At least in my head, Baronade, Phantom Ganon, Volvagia stick out. I want to say, if I had to take a guess, I'm guessing around 10. Or that might be a little bit low. I don't know, 10 to 15. I know the bosses and probably some RBA related stuff is probably going to be unavoidable. That's my guess.
Chat is saying 28% of 9 to 12, so pretty similar to yours. You said 10,
Alright,
right?
yeah.
Something important is that on N64, you can't use stick as adult. So that's something to also think about.
True. So this does not use Tix Adult.
Correct.
No, that would crash. Well,
That does make me very interested in how Phantom Ganon is gonna play out.
well, we have a surprise tool that'll come in later for that.
What about Child Dungeons? Child Dungeons is just a suggestion. Adult can do them too.
Yeah, that's just like adult dungeons, but like smaller.
Alright, we got our first medallion. Except this doesn't actually mean anything for all dungeons. We don't care about this medallion. So we're still 0% done.
Yeah, this is the useless medallion that has zero purpose in the game.
It's
There's
not even
actually
behind a blue orb.
yeah, there's no function that the light medallion serves whatsoever. Participation token.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Also keep in mind that when we skip the Door of Time, which we had to do, we can't just open it, because that means playing Song of Time, which is C presses.
A lot of
Um,
deep dresses.
Yeah, a lot. So the door is closed as adult, and that's important because it being closed means that we're very limited in terms of Temple of Time maneuvering. Just something to think about.
Yeah, the songs using C buttons does seem to be like a big issue for something like this. Like even the lowest C press song is what Serenade, which the notes plus Ocarina would be 6 alone. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and say this is probably a no song run.
That's a crazy guess. Do you think we can do the entire run without playing a single song?
Well, something important to
I'm
think
gonna be
about.
disappointed if you don't.
Something important to think about as well is that if you want magic, you're required to get you're required to play Zelda's Lullaby, so that would be at least 7 C presses to get magic. So just something to think about.
Hey, what's that? On C down? We equipped an item without pressing C.
Yeah, luckily, when you become adult, bombs just get automatically equipped to C down without having to manually equip anything. So just a nice little free equip there.
Yeah, that is pretty convenient for a low C press run to be able to use bombs without equipping them.
Yeah, low pause likes that a lot too.
That port can also equip Ocarina and Nuts. Well, that port. Going adult can also equip Ocarina and Nuts automatically for you if you have them. Well, Nuts if you have them. Ocarina if you have anything in the Ocarina slot. It can, I think, bottles and whatever in the Ocarina slot will also get auto-equipped.
Wait, if there's a bottle in the Ocarina slot, does it equip the bottle that's in the Ocarina slot or
Yes,
Ocarina?
yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Very nice Z slide there.
By the way, I forgot to mention, so like I'm not gonna do any spoilers through the run, but I will say like when we reach the last C press, I'll just say like that's how many C presses there are. That way we're not wondering.
All right.
And now, no, I'm just kidding. No, just...
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No more C presses.
Yeah, that weird sliding thing, that's a Z slide where you repeatedly mash Z every other frame, and it like preserves your sort of preserves your speed similar to an ESS. Tasses like to do it a lot for just a tiny extra speed boost of like keeping backwalk speed forwards.
It also doesn't slow you down when you're walking on stairs, for example.
Yep.
Stairs in CAG, you walk at 8.5 instead of 9, for example.
To the new Ocarina of Time viewers, the reason we got those 10 gold skulltulas is so we could get that adult wallet. So you don't have to worry about the skulls anymore. You could cross that off.
It's the only way to get wallet without pressing C. Usually when people get wallets in 100%, you don't actually ever get that wallet. Because you RBA the wallet and get the other one instead. We just grabbed a shield for free.
Alright, entering this grave has some implications. But before that, you have to obviously guess what the dampe time is going to be.
44. Dang it, underestimated.
I can't believe you thought so little of me.
I'm sorry. You proved me wrong.
You thought this was a low TED.
Yeah.
Turns out it's an actual test.
You lied to me.
Alright, so this was the implication. If we enter this grave, that means we're getting the hook shot.
Well,
sorry for spoilers, hook shot is in that chest.
But we can't use that, that's a C-press.
Think of C-presses as ammo. There you go.
Oh, there's two.
That's number 2.
Did you pay attention to what we did?
Don't think about it too hard. But if you paid attention...
If you paid attention, you'd know.
Yeah, think about it if you paid attention, but if you didn't, don't worry about it.
If you didn't see it, don't worry, yeah.
Oh man, the Poe hover.
How else are we gonna get into a Shadow Temple without C-presses?
Makes sense.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's another thing about C-presses that makes it impossible to plan a low C-press run is, like, all glitches use C. Like, there are so many ways to enter Shadow Temple, but that was the only way to get in without pressing C.
Yeah, especially bombs, because there's, like, so many tricks involve bombs. And only way to do that is... Well, usually the only way to do that is with the C button. There are ways around it, I guess.
That's number 3. No way to cross that gap. Well, you could cross it if you had hover boots, which we don't have. So anyway, in this room, we're about to get... Yeah, we're about to get there.
Oh, I love the quick dead hand strat.
Yeah, Shadow Temple and Poe Hover was by Pharaoh. Just want to point that out.
In general, it's good for us to grab items that we can use without pressing C. So that's why we kind of prioritize getting hover boots so early. And you'll see other items that we get that you press C to use. So
yeah, it seems like the
non
C-press items are probably really nice to have in this.
Yeah, they give more options.
We like items that we don't have to press C to use.
Yeah, of course, why not?
Sorry, I have the hiccups. Oh, another fun thing? about low C press runs is that crossing Hyrule Field, we just have to not use bombs or anything ever. So
Yeah,
that's fun.
quite painful to cross Hyrule
So
Field.
the alternative method is this. Nice.
Little ledge cancel has.
The nervous hiss. Okay, so someone in chat asked if C up for Navi counts as a C press, and yes, it does.
Yes, it does count. And I'll also recap the 3 C presses that we've done so far. One was equipping Rudo Bottle on C right as child. One was equipping Hookshot, and one was using Hookshot to cross the gap in Shadow Temple.
Here's a nice use for those hover boots.
Explain.
Explain. There's nothing to explain. We just went across the gap with hover boots.
Yeah.
It's simple.
If you have a very temporary high speed, if you equip hover boots, you can preserve that high speed for a bit longer. Or specifically, hover boots deceleration is much slower than Kakiri boots. So
yes, we use the Kukiri boots with the sword to get a recoil of the rock, and then we switch to hover boots immediately to preserve that speed for longer.
yeah, the recoil off the rock only lasts for like what, a frame, I think, and but
yeah,
you slow down so much slower with hover boots that you get a nice big boost of speed. Oh, are we actually saving the carpenters?
Well,
How
Gerudo
nice.
card doesn't take C presses to use.
That's true.
If you kept everything in the back of your mind, you might know why.
I think I might know why. I have an idea.
I'm very curious what your idea is. Unless it's correct, in which case I don't want to know. But if it's wrong, I do want to know.
Okay. I'll let you know later.
Okay.
Tell us, but like, don't tell us until you know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if this was done on a non-N64 version, yes, it would still count as C buttons. It's not a controller technicality thing. Even if you're using a GameCube controller and using the C stick, it would still be C buttons. It's about the game counting it as C buttons, not controller technicalities.
Yes, that's true. The game has like a internal table that it counts C buttons as, or buttons in general.
Yeah, using some obscure third-party Mad Catz controller that isn't actually C buttons isn't gonna save you from C button presses.
I didn't press C because I just used the C stick on my GameCube controller.
Yeah, no actualies for this.
Alright, that's the third one. There's only one more. Always have to clarify for the people that never saw this game before.
Do you think CFG has any viewers that haven't seen the game before? Like,
Yeah.
just like out of curiosity.
Yeah, no, of course. Because they're tuning in for February 21st.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they know
right.
it's
I forgot it's an international holiday.
yeah, of course.
POV, you're in jail.
Another item without pressing C.
Is that 3?
Is someone counting the hiccups?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's more, the C press count or the hiccup count?
C press was the hiccup.
Alright, so I guess this is the purpose of the Guido card? Is it the singular?
Well,
Is it the singular purpose, or is there a multi-purpose?
the thing is that we can skip the gate with an anti-grav side hop. Fuck that sign. Look it up if you don't know about that trick. It looks pretty cool. So it wasn't just to open that gate.
Okay. So then I'm not
the
wrong yet.
anti-grav is from unloading the lower part of Gerudo Fortress. You can use that to skip.
Yeah, I love that I can tell this was on emulator for this point.
Relax, this is one screen. Just
Relax, it works on N64, I promise.
Anyone else love
Just don't look
N64
at the top of
emulation?
You can
cover
even
the top
play
of
it
the
back
screen.
on 1.0 Inject on VC.
This does work on console. This is just recorded on emulator for looking nice purposes.
Little A slide into C slide there.
I like the diagonal A slide. Looks cool.
Oh, we don't have bombs to hest with, so we have to A slide
Yeah.
or C slide to go fast.
Alright, not bothering to get Requiem, I guess, since that would be quite a few C presses.
Not only are we not bothering to get it, it's important that we don't exit through the entrance.
Yeah, since it's an unavoidable cutscene, there's no way out of C pressing in that cutscene.
Yeah, if we exit it out of the main entrance in Spirit Temple, we are guaranteed. What is it, 5 C presses?
A down.
6,
A.
or oh yeah, A. I forgot A is not a C button.
Is it 3?
It's at least.
Oh,
Wait. I can't remember how to
alright,
play
wait, there
Requiem
was
Spirit now.
everyone's favorite trick there.
Oh yeah,
Can you
QPA.
explain?
Yeah, so that was what's known as quick put away, where for that method you try to put away sword on one frame and then on the next frame fall off a ledge and attempt a jump slash with no sword in your hand. This causes Link to do a jump slash with no sword, which causes like a glitch value for your attack, and this has multiple different damage properties, with one of them including fire, and that's how Link's sword was able to light the torches there to get that key. A really cool use of the Armos here, using their explosion as a Hess to clip through the walls here.
Yeah, so what is needed for a Hess is a way to interrupt your roll and then a damage source while you still have roll and invincibility frames. In those cases, it's the damage from the Armos is both interrupting and used as a damage source, while the ledge cancel earlier with the Poe was the ledge cancelling my roll and then the flame from the Poe counting as the damage source. Pay attention.
Another QPA there.
Yep.
Yeah, again, that means Link has glitch damage on the sword right now.
We'll use that in an upcoming room.
Yeah, so this room you need to light these torches, and QPA is great for just lighting these without a C button.
And then we're pushing blocks. What cancels QPA? A normal sword slash.
Yeah, normal sword slash or loading a new area.
Yeah, via loading zone, yeah. New loading zones gives you default crouch step value back, which is, what is it, 1? Just straight up 1.
Yeah. You can combine QPA with ISG, yeah. So you can get QPA and then your crouch stab continues to have QPA damage, and then crouch stab is what causes ISG. So you can get ISG with it and still have QPA. And also,
Small
very
time
interesting
saver.
use of QPA there is that it actually does 10 damage to the Iron Knuckles. That's actually the fastest way to kill an Iron Knuckle. So actually, while we're going into a cutscene here, so there's an interesting thing about that Iron Knuckle damage that I actually just learned about today. So Elliptic was actually looking into why. So there's a weird thing with QPA where it does different damage values to different enemies, and it works really strangely. And the kind of common knowledge explanation was just that there's different priorities for different enemies, and that's why it behaves differently on different enemies. It turns out when QPA damage is being dealt to enemies, it actually only checks for the most significant bit of the damage value, which for QPA, one of the glitch damage values is just something that's called unknown. And when doing damage to enemies, unknown is actually the only damage value that's actually being used on these enemies. And so, for some reason, that unknown damage does 10 damage to Iron Knuckles. And most other enemies, it just does nothing or some other weird property. But yeah, some unused damage value that happens to actually end up being useful. And now, looks like the party's getting started.
I just want to say,
Now we have a strength upgrade.
You should all be so thankful that this works. I don't know if anyone's done this before, but just be glad this works, because otherwise we would have had to jump down and then Gwei hover all the way back up.
That is very nice.
So, saved a lot of time that that's possible.
Do a little A-slide off the Gwei. It's barely possible to load over. So we can
very glad that that hover boots only cost a single C press and is actually worth it to get.
Okay, Pharaoh is doing this segment again.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like we prioritize getting hover boots right away. Notice that our next two items are silver gauntlets and mirror shield, which are also items that don't need C, so it makes sense to do Spirit Temple first as the first dungeon.
Yeah, hover boots already paying off for that single C press.
Yeah, like I said, it's C presses are like ammo. You spend C presses to save C presses. Astute viewers notice that block coming out of the wall. That's not an emulator glitch.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. That's actually, these moving walls right here, these actually extend into the previous room. And for a split second, you can actually see them during the transition. Very quick ledge clip there into this unloaded room.
I just hiccuped, so hopefully that doesn't mean another C press is coming up.
Oh no.
Oh, very nice statue clip directly into the boss loading zone from the unloaded room. Yeah, so that statue has a really wonky collision that lets you kind of walk around on the like shoulders of the statue and then clip into the head if you move in the right way. And yeah, it looks very cool, especially when the room's unloaded. And then Twinrova, can't think of any reason why a C press would be needed for Twinrova. So this should be a nice... Huh?
Use the hookshot to make them spin around.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
Use
hopefully...
the speed presses to speed up the fight.
Hopefully you shouldn't need to do that. Yeah, you gotta keep them in place. But yeah, this should be a nice C buttonless fight.
That means the entire Spirit Temple was without C presses.
Yeah, the entire dungeon.
Whoa. If we keep this up, we can beat the rest of the dungeons and also zero C presses.
Yeah, just extrapolate this out.
Yeah, every dungeon has an item that doesn't use C, like Spirit Temple.
Surely it's that easy.
It's actually faster to hookshot up there than to climb it.
But if you did that...
It's a C press. So this is pretty much just standard Twinrova fight.
Do we get RNG unit? Do we get some doubles out of this? No?
Well, we don't have...
Is that possible?
I guess it's probably much harder without hookshot.
We can't... Well, Faro did this segment, and he told me that we don't have many options of manipulating the RNG, and I've decided to trust him. But yeah, we don't have many options for manipulating the RNG. We only have the options of targeting them and untargeting them.
Yeah. Well, that's my preferred method of RNG manip here, just mashing target. But I guess it can't always work.
The best RNG manip is to re-enter. Right.
Oh god. Okay, yeah.
That's...
Then fair enough.
For those new to Ocarina of Time that haven't seen this game before, this is not RNG manipulation. It'll always be the same 3 shots in a row.
Oh, and there's a trick where if you stand really close to one of the other platforms, it's actually possible for her to stay at the same platform, and that saves a bit of time of her like crossing the room. I actually thought you needed to use a projectile to make that strat work. I didn't know you could do it without a projectile.
I lost count.
Chat, how many is that? 5?
Oh no, you're outrunning the C count. Slow down.
No need for the heart.
Alright, that's 1 dungeon out of 8. There's 7 more. It's just the act of stepping in the blue warp, as I mentioned before. So, watching this cutscene is unnecessary, but you'll find that in a low C press run, we watch a lot of cutscenes, because how are we going to skip them?
Yes, cutscene skips typically involve C presses, either C presses for a bottle or C presses for bombs.
Yeah, well, often both, actually.
Yeah. They add up a lot.
Yeah, so get ready to watch a lot of cutscenes in this run.
Hope you guys like cutscenes.
Oh man.
Good time to fill out your taxes.
At least this is one of the shorter medallion cutscenes.
Oh, as if we're gonna skip the longer ones? Interesting.
No, just for now. It's nice that we don't get the long ones right now.
Prepare yourself.
Oh man.
This is almost 3 hours for a reason. We're just watching every cutscene. Otherwise, it's a normal speedrun.
All cutscene run.
All cutscenes, RTA.
When you're doing that Z slide across the market there, do you have to like change the control stick angle every frame to make it stay? No?
You can just be neutral stick.
Oh my god, that's so much. Okay, I always thought that looked like it was super hard to test, but okay, never mind. That makes sense actually.
Actually, on that note, the version of GZ we were using has an angle script that makes that trivial if we had to keep our angle.
Oh, nice.
I think Faro developed that. And if I'm wrong, I don't care, because, I mean, it's Faro, so who cares if he gets the credit.
Well, Pharaoh compiled it at least. PMS
Okay,
developed it.
it's glitches and stuff. I do care. I do care. Glitches and stuff did it. Okay. That's out of the way.
Nice little A slide into C slide again to traverse Deathmatch and Trailer a little bit faster. And just
You can clip that?
you can just like jump slash in there and get the rupee.
That was me impersonating your chat.
Great
You
impression.
did a good job.
So I noticed there was some RNG manip for some rupees earlier, and then plus that rupee here. 200 rupees in Goron City. This can only mean one thing, right?
What is this one thing it could mean?
Well, I think it's this thing right here. We're getting a new sword. A new sword that does not cost C presses.
A sword that doesn't cost C presses. That sounds awesome.
Unlike the Master Sword, which
Yes, unlike the
costs
Master
so
Sword.
much C presses.
No, I'm just thinking of sold out, of course. The sold out on C Master Sword.
yeah, you're definitely gonna see sold out on C in a low C run.
For sure. Now we're just talking to this guy to get our Goron tunic.
Which is
Yet
another
another item
item.
we can equip.
Yeah, exactly. Following the theme.
There's actually all items you can equip without C presses run.
Okay, so this is... We got the 10 skulls so that we could get the adult wallet, and we got the adult wallet so that we can get this sword. This sword that costs 200 rupees and breaks when you use it 8 times. So somehow that's
and
important.
we went to Spirit Temple first to get strength upgrade to use these bombs. Bomb flowers.
Yeah, the silver gauntlets was so we could use bomb flowers. That'll save us C presses so that we don't have to use actual bombs once we get those.
Yeah, especially
just
for like
backflip over that guy.
Dodongo.
Okay, so here's a very interesting predicament right here. Before Forest Temple, there is a cutscene for Minuet. And that's a song, and it costs C presses. However, there's no known way to skip the Minuet cutscene without bombs. Until today.
Oh.
So this is the first new trick of the run.
Here.
Oh. Nice. Barely gets out of bounds like that. And then the cutscene trigger extends very far out of bounds, and you void out.
That's how you save C presses.
Very nice.
For those that think that they saw it before, it used explosives.
And yes, that does give you the song. Not like they're gonna play it, right? Surely.
Surely.
Imagine. Okay, that's
All right.
number 4 to enter Forest Temple.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get around that one.
Well, I know of a way to get into forest without entering from that way.
I am also aware, but I believe that would most likely also cause cost alternative C presses.
Yeah,
Yes.
for those wondering, for those first of all that know about wrong warping into dungeons, wondering why we didn't wrong warp into dungeons, it's because it either uses Pharaoh's Wind, which Pharaoh's Wind will be a C press, and Magic, which Magic's cost 7 C presses,
Yes,
or it would be Ocarina items, which also uses C press. So obviously, just pressing one hookshot is the best you can do to get into Forest Temple.
No, you don't need 2 C presses for hookshot. You can just hold down the button to shoot.
Yeah.
Then it shoots when you release if you hold it down.
Very nice fight. So I know there's a boss key skip for this dungeon, and I know you can do it without C button presses, so I assume that there's something else in this dungeon necessary.
The Skulltulas.
Yes, of course, the skull.
It's the Skulltulas. We need all 50. All 50 for the good rewards.
I don't even remember what 50 gives you.
50 is the heart piece. That's obviously extremely important.
It's the only heart piece we can get without C.
Surely not. Surely we can get other heart pieces
I'm
without
sure
C.
you can get a good number of heart pieces without C.
Also pay attention to how we're skipping the Navi trigger here. Navi wants to talk to you about pushing these blocks. We can just like avoided by going around the trigger.
All of the glitchless speedrunners are watching this forest temple intently.
You just side hop across the trigger, forehead.
There's a lot of glitchless strategy overlap between a speedrun and low C press run, because most glitches use C. I guess that's another hiccup.
Navi talking to you by herself does not count as a C press, because you don't press the C button to get her to pop up. It just saves time not to talk to her.
Yeah, just an optimization. Cool little anti-grab there.
I think there's controversy in the hiccup counting community, and I think it's because I did a hiccup before the run started.
Now only hiccups after the run started count.
Only hiccups during the time of being live.
Alright, for those new, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Navi tech skip there. If you go straight through that room, Navi talks to you, so going to the side is just to avoid Navi.
We hate talking to Navi.
Yeah, talking to Navi is terrible. Never want to talk to Navi.
I was told that that fight was faster than the MST TAS.
Nice,
It
it
is
did look pretty
by,
fast.
like, a couple frames. But it is faster.
The bow, interesting. Interesting.
But that's a terrible item. You have to press C to equip it, and then you have to press C many times to shoot it.
Well, how else are you gonna do Phantom Ganon?
Well, we already have hookshot equipped, we can just shoot him with that.
Well, how else are you gonna do... I don't know. What else do you use bow for in this game?
Well, it's for Ganondorf, right? Light arrows.
Oh, true. For those new to Ocarina of Time, we were riffing. Just keep that in mind. Alright, this fight... Pay attention.
So with a precise crouch step here, we can activate hover boots. And then we can use those hover boots to do a little cool trick you may have seen before.
Yeah, that hover boost was necessary, because without it, we would not be able to get glitch damage, because you would need stick, and we're adult, we can't do that on N64.
And it would cost a C press. 2 C presses. Or wait, would it be 1? No, it'd just be 1, never mind. No, it'd be 2.
That's actually the only way to get QPA in this room as adult on N64.
Yeah, so it's very nice that that worked out. Alright, that's number 5. If I didn't
Not
say
the
it,
ISG.
some of you might have missed it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Using
I
Navi
actually
via ISG.
I missed it. Yeah.
C up counts as C.
We need a little ISP.
So this fight is why we got the Giant's Knife. Because these lightning bolts that we're hovering off of, we can't actually hover up high enough to hit Phantom Ganon unless we have either stick or knife.
Yeah. Master Sword is too short. It doesn't hit him.
Yeah, and it's specifically because of how high we're able to hover. So yeah, the whole ISG and quick put away is for the glitch damage, and glitch damage hits Phantom Ganon, because otherwise you would need either arrows, slingshot seeds, or hookshot to hit him.
Yeah,
Which would be
glitch.
presses.
The glitch damage with QPA, one of the properties it has is bow damage, and so that's why it's able to hit Phantom Ganon.
And now we can just kill him normally.
So yeah, the Forest Temple cost us 2 C presses, 1 to get in and 1 to beat Phantom Ganon.
Oh man, so 2 dungeons now have cost us 2 C presses. That's not looking good. 3 C presses in the overworld and then 2 dungeons for 2 C presses. Oh no.
Yeah, we got 6 dungeons left. Although we do have hover boots from Shadow Temple, but in Shadow Temple, hover boots are right at the beginning, so that doesn't really count. And since we're about to enter a long cutscene, because we have no way of skipping this cutscene, we can start thinking about like what other things need C presses. Like, for example, the dungeons.
I feel like Fire Temple, probably you can get away with not many C presses until Volvagia, maybe even 0. Can't. No, there's gotta be at least. I'm not sure. Maybe if you do something. If you do something crazy, you might be able to skip. You might be able to do fire with like 1 C press.
Not many. Not many
Not
C
many.
presses.
I expect water. Is water 0? I feel like water's 0. My gut tells me water's 0.
How are you gonna do water on 0?
Explain water 0.
I would like to know
Oh,
how
wait.
you're doing water on 0.
Wait, never mind.
Please illuminate.
Well, I'm thinking more
past-
for 0, and I
How are you getting
my
past the gap? How are you bus key skipping? Or
the
alternatively,
gap
how are you getting the bus key?
the gap you're just doing a Z slide with hover boots. But yeah, I did my mind did slip on the boss key. So I guess you either need the boss key in 0 C presses or somehow do the hover in 0 C presses, but I don't think that's happening, I guess.
Well, you'll have to stay tuned.
There's still another cutscene. So yeah, you do have to stay tuned.
Just playing Master Quest. Holy shit, why didn't we think of that, Kita? We could have just played on Master Quest. Watch
Oh,
him would have been so
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, 0 C is totally doable on NQ for Water Temple. Just splice Water Temple Master Quest specifically in.
That'd be nice. Very simple. Just jump there.
Yeah, so Water Temple, we have the problem of boss key skip. There's no way to do that without C presses.
Or getting the bus key.
Yeah, or getting the boss key. Shadow Temple, like, if you take the boat, that's
a lot of C presses.
That's out of the question. Astute ZFG viewers might know of other ways, but that's still several C
even
presses.
other ways are high
Yeah.
C press numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think of one that is relatively low C button presses for getting to the end of Shadow.
Well, you'll have to stay tuned to see if that's the right one. It probably is.
Alright, this is the mustache clip. Lets us get into Deku Tree as adult with no C presses, and it's very precise.
Yeah, just messing with
Well, you
some
made it look easy.
wonky collision near the top there.
A little QPA action again. Very nice that this trick is so easy on 1.0.
Yeah, I love QPA. Always love seeing QPA get uses. Oh, just burning the webs. That's it.
Well, think about it. How would we beat Goma?
True. That
That's at least
require
like a couple C presses.
yeah, at least one.
Alright, another song cutscene skip.
Yeah, this song is a lot of C presses. We don't want to listen. We want to get that one. And then we leave.
Just want to get the song.
Yep.
It's funny to me that we can't skip, like, most cutscenes. Like, we're gonna be watching so many cutscenes. But if it's a song cutscene, we're like, oh yeah, we can just skip that.
And then not be
Gotta
able to
save
use
those
the
C
song.
presses. Yeah. This movement always makes me think of, like, Heelys.
Link on his Heelys.
Why?
It's just
I see it. I see it.
Coasting.
Oh, of course, yeah. No.
Oh, very nice.
Just
The
casually out of bounds.
zero C press stealing Epona.
It turns out you can actually just like go through the wall if you think hard enough.
So, long-time February 21st Lotad viewers, they know anytime Epona shows up, things are about to get real.
Things start to get weird when Epona shows up.
Things are gonna get a little silly around here now.
Everyone loves the Epona shenanigans.
Now we have Bow and B.
If you
Waste
think that
25 arrows. Or
if you
5?
think that there was a reason to do that, you're wrong. There was no reason to do that.
Yeah, we're shooting arrows.
Don't
for
worry.
fun
Oh, so
right now.
I don't need to keep that in the back of my mind?
Yeah,
Don't
keep that in
keep
the
the
back.
arrow count in the back of your mind. We're wasting them for fun.
Alright, is anyone old enough in ZFG's chat to know what trick this is?
Oh man. This is a classic.
This trick is horrible.
Yeah, this is extreme boomer strats.
It's such a bad trick.
Yeah, so this is the Tektite hover to fishing pond. This was a trick that was technically optimal in any percent many years ago, that only a small handful of people ever did a run with because it's the worst trick.
It's so bad.
stealing the fishing rod.
Oh yeah, we have the fishing rod on B. That's probably important.
Nah, I don't think this.
I forgot about that because when I started playing Ocarina of Time, that was like the most... That was like the trick that everyone knew about.
Yeah, it was just like the basic. Now it doesn't get much use at all anymore, but yeah, stealing the fishing rod used to be one of the basics of OOT.
How can we be sure you're not secretly mashing the C buttons right now? Well, you can be sure because the C count is actually reading directly from the game input in the top right corner. It's a Lua script that's reading directly from the game input.
Oh, this is a new trick. Well, time passes
Nice.
kind of fast. I don't know how new it is, but yeah, you can pause to displace. Actually, don't worry about it. That wasn't even a trick.
Obscure technical question. So I noticed that you paused there, and the fishing rod stayed on B. Is that due to opponent temp B stuff? Because usually pausing will remove the fishing rod from the B button, right?
That's only if you dim the B button first.
I thought even if you didn't dim the B button, I thought it would go right to Master Sword.
We haven't dimmed the B button to make it disappear.
All right.
See, I wasn't lying. When I said that shooting those arrows was pointless, I meant it. Because think about it.
What do you mean? We just got a heart piece. What do you mean?
Think about it. See?
The arrows have anything to do with that. It's a heart piece.
Actually. Yeah, but you're about to see. Okay, see.
What now you're about to see it.
Yeah. So I wasn't lying. Let this be known. I wasn't lying. We shot those arrows for no reason.
We did shoot those arrows for no reason. So if you kept track, we fooled you.
This is why we got Gerudo card, by the way.
Yeah.
CFG, were you correct?
I was half correct. I was expecting an archery wrong warp, but I only got the archery part. So, half credit?
Okay, well, you get half credit.
Yes, but why quiver? Why do you need a 40-arrow quiver instead of 30?
The astute viewer will know.
Yeah, we'll explain soon enough. In fact, you'll get so much explanation, you'll be like, actually, I don't care. Actually, I wish I didn't ask.
Yeah.
So don't worry, you'll know.
At least opponent's a little bit faster than running across Hyrule Field.
Well, that's the whole reason we got Epona, is to
speed up
have faster movement. We
Yeah.
move across the overworld so much that it's actually just faster to get Epona. Alright, this is exciting.
Oh man, we're getting another quiver?
This is just a 100% speedrun at this point. We're getting Skull Slash, we're getting Quiver upgrades, like...
All cutscenes.
Alright, yeah, we got all the quiver upgrades, as far as I'm aware.
Well, as far as I'm aware as well, I hope there's not another one. Because that would invalidate all 100% speedruns on the leaderboard currently.
The secret 99 quiver upgrade that no one's found yet.
Alright, and now we're going to buy a fairy.
Oh, what happened there? Did anyone notice?
Oh, what was that? That hookshot just turned into a fairy.
Alright, who wants to explain equip swap?
No one, apparently.
I would explain it, but I forgot which buttons that hookshot was equip swapped over.
It was okay. So we got the empty bottle first. So empty bottle was in the bottom left. So yeah, we equip swapped over empty bottle.
Yeah, we equipped swapped hookshot over the empty bottle in C, in the bottom left, and that is actually the reason we had to get the empty bottle first from Cuckoo's. The faster way would actually have been to get Rudo bottle first and then the empty bottle, but then we equip swap over Rudo's bottle and we can't put a fairy into that.
Alright, 6 C presses. We used a C press to get bugs on B? I actually have notes on this one. Alright, let me read my notes. When you swing a bottle and catch, the game determines which button to update with the new bottle content based on the last button you pressed before the swing started. So basically, press C to put the bottle in Link's hand and keep C held. While holding shield, press B. Since Rod is on B, it doesn't come out, so Link is still holding the bottle. If you shield and unshield while targeted, Link swings the bottle without updating the last button pressed, so last pressed is considered B, and thus bugs are on the B button. There you go. I took notes.
But what's the significance of bugs on the D button?
Well, before we can find out, first we have to do a brand new trick. Never before
Brand
seen.
new trick. That's the second time this run.
Oh? Oh no.
Oh yes.
I'm just gonna say in advance, I'm sorry to whoever had to task this.
Well, that was me.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Joe Lin found that the geometry genius Joe Lin somehow found the proper way to get 2 bugs to push you through and clip so that you can skip the door time.
Amazing.
In fact, we only, even though we dropped 3 bugs, only 2 of them actually acted on us there to push us through.
And so now the purpose of Rudo's letter is revealed.
Yep, we're using Bottle Adventure.
Yeah, so Rudo's letter is an item that points to your arrow count for the purposes of Bottle Adventure. And the arrow count was 44, which is sold out. And so now we have sold out on B, and sold out acts like the Master Sword. But then why have sold out and not the Master Sword on B?
So I just saw a question about the bugs. Yes, even though they dig instantly, it's still RNG. Because the bugs move back and forth while they're digging still. It's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, so the TLDR of Bottle Adventure is Rudo Bottle on C plus the arrow count lets us get items on B. So this is why we got Epona, so that we can shoot arrows without pressing C. So right now we have 17 arrows.
And a nice little treat about sold out on B. It also activates Bottle Adventure.
Yes. That's wonderful.
We'll come back to sold out. So if you're writing things down, write down sold out. But we'll come back to that.
No, the purposes of the bug door time skip was because there was no... With Bottle on B, you can't use Sword, and the only other way to get past door time would have been Sword on B. So it was the only way to get past the door of time without... only way to get past the door of time without equipping a sword. And so now with 17 arrows, we get Hammer on B.
Yes. And for those that are concerned, there might be some concerned people. Having Bottle Adventure does not break the challenge by any means. Like, you still only have access to the one item that's on your B button, and like you're not once you have an item like Hammer on B, you can't just like change it. You have to spend another C press at least to get a Bottle Adventure again. So it doesn't break the challenge.
So I can only imagine that Fire Temple is going to be the one coming up next.
Well, if you notice, there's something on C down that we would probably like to take advantage of at some point.
True. Oh, I
mean,
see.
It's literally right there looking at us.
Yeah, you're just passing by it anyway.
Alright, finally, Dodongo's Cavern. We can get a very useful item in here. But first, cutscene skip.
Yeah, so leaving right as the wall blows up lets you skip that first intro cutscene.
And for those new to Ocarina of Time, I keep shouting you guys out. For those new, the item in this dungeon is the bomb bag, which lets you use bombs. And bombs are very good for glitches in this game. A lot of glitches use bombs because it's a portable damage source. So
Bombs are pretty good.
Yeah, it's very, very, very useful.
I love these hover boosts.
Alright, here's a trick. This isn't new, but I bet a lot of your viewers don't know about this.
Oh, this, yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting quirk with blowing up the stairs here where you can actually... Two precise explosions near the back right side can actually make the whole thing fall down. And the gainers up the stairs, very nice.
Thank you.
I was gonna fire Kita if you didn't do them.
That was my rule.
That should be required for all tests.
The rule was I could be as bad as possible as long as I did the gainers up the stairs.
I mean, you took that too hard.
Alright, finally. The most important item in the run. Oh.
Oh?
Kita, you
I
forgot to pick them up.
Yeah, I actually miscounted. We already are at the C press count for the run. There are
really?
6 C presses for the entire run.
Very interesting.
The last C press was getting bottle on B.
Yep. Which should feel impossible, because with current knowledge it is absolutely impossible. But
Yeah.
we have
Stay
some...
tuned.
Yeah,
have
I'm
some
already thinking
scientists
about.
on our team.
I'm already thinking about a few things.
How are we gonna do every single remaining dungeon without pressing C? We still have Fire
And
Temple,
you guys
Shadow
were
Temple,
yelling me about
Jabu.
Water Temple. Like, oh, how are you gonna do Water Temple without a C button? Like that was completely
Yeah.
impossible.
Well, it
We have
is.
Water Temple left.
I
It is
promise
completely impossible
it
with
is,
current knowledge.
with current knowledge, it's impossible.
Well, maybe I also know.
No, you don't.
Actually,
You do not know.
actually,
No.
maybe.
There's no way. There's no way. Someone would have had to leak.
Oh, I have leakers everywhere.
Don't forget, ZFG had access to the video. He could have just like
Yeah.
sneakily.
I
watched it.
didn't leak myself though. I didn't cheat.
Yeah, we still have to do Shadow Temple and Fire Temple and Water Temple and
Temple.
Jabu and
Dodongo's
Deku
Cavern. We
Tree.
have to finish
But
that.
I think we've done the
I mean, yeah, I hope there's not. I hope there's not another C press in DC.
where would you put the last C press?
Well, also, I don't know if we pointed it out, but the hammer was useful because it could actually break that bombable surface for some reason.
Yeah.
to
Fun
enter
fact:
this,
it has
boss room.
an incredibly tiny hitbox. The hitbox is like, I think is it like a 1 pixel radius? I think it's like super
It's
tiny, or not one.
Very
one
small
unit.
hitbox, but it's fine for bombs
Yeah.
because bombs have a huge explosion radius. It's a bit harder to hit with hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's convenient that hammer for some reason breaks that, and it's convenient that there's bomb flowers in the actual fight. That's another hiccup. The
I
hiccup's
think
already
you're
won.
officially just you just beat the C count. There's no going back now.
You ruined it, Gita. I can't believe you.
I can't help it. Do I always
The
hiccup this
endgame mode.
much? I
Rando chat.
I actually had the hiccups like for several years of my life, and then one day they just went away. But today I guess they came back. But yeah, there are several problems left in this run for things that should require C presses, but somehow we're avoiding all of them. So there's still a lot left to do. Stay tuned. Now I know what you're thinking.
Egg?
I'm not gonna say it,
Egg?
but we're all thinking it.
All right.
This has a purpose.
Everyone's favorite
Yeah.
item.
It has a purpose. Don't worry.
It is important.
Okay. We're doing this thing again, this Poe Hover. Old news by now. Everyone knows about this. So it looks like we're entering Shadow Temple with Hammer on B, Bombs on C. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what's on C. We're not pressing C. So we just have a hammer, and somehow we're expected to beat Shadow Temple.
How can we do that? How are we gonna get anywhere near the boss room with just hammer?
I hope you're gonna explain this, because
Well,
you're the one that did it.
first
so-
off, I think I just want CFG to pay really close attention and then copy it afterwards.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Make sure you do
Oh.
an RTA.
We need to test this
Oh,
RTA.
man. All right. Do I have a job to do after this stream?
Yeah, you have a job to do after this.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
boy.
surely RTA viable.
For sure, definitely RTA viable. I'll explain afterwards, I promise. But for now, just pay attention.
All right. I have a vague idea of what might be happening, but
I don't think you do.
oh boy, we got collision viewer going on.
Just to reiterate, this is not spliced. The original video is still playing in the corner.
Yeah, no splices in this run.
This is just for visual clarity.
All right, so that was clipping out of bounds in the map room with the redead, clipping back inbounds in like the hallway room. Oh god.
Oh no, we're not getting back inbounds. That would.
All right, that's not entirely inbounds. Like standing on the tiny little pieces that barely extend out of bounds. Oh no.
Oh, but soon these are gonna stop. These small pillars that leave out of bound collisions. This is gonna stop soon. What are we gonna do then? Here we go. Here is
You can go all the way around the room like this.
here is out of bounds walking, or infinite out of bounds walking.
Incredible. How precise is each one of those jump slashes? Is that frame perfect, or is it like somewhat lenient?
Oh, I will explain in a second how
Alright.
precise this is, because I just want everyone to really pay attention to the end here. So we're moving up a little bit here, trying to get into a position.
Good thing this isn't low pause.
Oh, I would be ruined by now, huh?
Low pause is crying right now.
You're witnessing a miracle right now that any of this works. None of these techniques are in the Bible.
The OOT Bible. And then
Oh,
Moment of truth.
a little hammer slide with a little side hop to just barely reach the boss
Alright.
room.
There you
incredible.
Okay, so that entire thing, every single jump slash you saw needed a. So, okay, no, let's start from the beginning. Every floor in this game effectively extends one unit past the walls. So we need to land on that unit during a jump slash with a pretty precise downward speed so that we snap back up during the jump slash to hit that one unit. And then the very next frame, we need to be away from that one unit, because standing on that one unit gives you standing on that one unit is still within the wall's suction radius. So if you stay on that one unit, you will be sucked back in bounds. So you need to jump slash, hit that one unit out of bounds, and then leave that one unit to be fully out of bounds. And then we have to keep doing that all the way around the room, so that we get into a precise position to do a hammer slide off the wall at the very end to hit a 1x1 unit pixel of collision out of bounds, where we can then again re-equip our hover boots to keep the speed, and then hit the boss room.
Incredible. Yeah, I saw the standing on the 1x1 unit thing, because I was initially thinking it was going to be a mid-air hammer recoil, and then I saw like they were actually still standing after that hammer recoil, and I was like, wow, I can't believe you can still stand on that.
It is a 1x1 unit area we're standing on during the hammer recoil. As a unit is very, very, very little. I think you move, is it 9 units per frame while normal walking or something? It's very tiny. Actually, maybe it's 6 units per frame. I can't remember, because like your walking speed is 6, but
It's
the units don't...
1/50th of Child Link's height.
Yeah, it's very tiny. There's not a lot of space to stand on. So you're doing that RTA afterwards, right, Sifty?
Yeah, I'll be practicing that soon.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Soon
that trick
TM.
was another Joe Lin original. Another geometry-based Joe Lin trick.
Wonderful.
Alright, so what dungeons are left? We have Water Temple, Jabu Temple,
Jabu Temple, yes.
My
Deku
favorite
Tree,
temple. Fire.
the Fire Temple.
I think just those 4, right? Yeah, you've done Forest Shadow, Forest Shadow DC and Spirit are done.
Yeah, okay. So there's 4 left.
So then Deku, Jabu, Fire, and Water left.
So to be clear, Jolin didn't find out of bounds walking, but he found the hammer slide to the boss room, and he found the EPG and EPG is the entrance point glitch we used in the beginning to get out of bounds. He found the clip out in that room, and yeah, he found basically everything else about that trick apart from out of bounds walking. Oh well, we forced him to find it, more like.
Almost go mode. Well, I assume for this, go mode is essentially when all the C button presses are done. And we already have confirmation that the C button presses are done, so I guess this is technically go mode.
Rando brain.
This is actually silly mode.
Silly mode.
Why would I lie about how many Z... It's like, oh yeah, let me just disappoint everyone.
You just had six C presses to impress the viewers, and then
I'll be like,
okay, so that 5 minutes you press it 10 times.
Wouldn't that be cool if it was only 6? I was just
That'd
trying
be
to
so
make everyone
cool.
happy.
We're a little late about this, but I think we should also explain Bongo, why Bongo took so long. Because so Bongo doesn't actually take any damage from the hammer. So to do damage to Bongo with only hammer, you have to use the base power crouch stab value, which is 1. And so doing any regular hammer slash would automatically make the fight impossible. So you do 1. So you do your base default 1 power crouch stab damage, and you have to hit Bongo 40 times.
Yeah, for those that don't know, bosses in this game require sword-like damage to be hit. So if you had bombs on B, for instance, you wouldn't be able to kill any bosses.
We just skip Bolero. we don't actually need to skip Bolero to get into Fire Temple, but if we need to leave Fire Temple, then Bolero's there.
But wait, why can't we just save warp? Think about that?
Well,
Think about it?
well, you can probably figure out why we can't save warp with what we have on B. That doesn't usually work right with save warping.
Sticks are sword type damage, but this is required to be done on version 1.0 or 1.1, and sticks would crash on that version if you're playing on 64.
Yes, Cuckoo Bottle and Rudo's Letter was gotten in the particular order because Cuckoo Bottle is then in the leftmost bottle slot, so we can use it to equip swap with.
Yeah, and then it had to be hookshot had to be equip swapped over that first bottle slot. That way, later on, when the bottle actually had to be used, they could essentially turn the hookshot into bottle by getting a fairy and dying and reviving. Since then it has to update the real bottle slot, which updates the hookshot slot into a bottle without using a C-press. Yeah, adult stick does crash on every N64 version. What I meant is that's usually, if you're on 1.2, that's usually when people run on VC. But on 1.0 or 1.1, it has to be N64.
So, little known fact about the Flare Dancer is that if you have Hammer, the only way you can damage him is the default slash.
Yeah, normal 2 damage slash, which I think actually only does 1 damage to these guys because they have the weird damage table.
Yeah, and jump slash does 0 damage.
Yeah, jump slash is the same as Sun Skulltulas.
Yeah.
And I think base crouch stab also does 0 damage. So have to use normal hammer swing.
So having Hammer on B for Fire Temple is kind of expected. I assume a lot of people watching was like, oh, low C? Surely they're gonna use a Hammer on B for Volvagia. Because Volvagia requires a Hammer. You can't beat Volvagia without it.
Until today, no, I'm just kidding.
And we just get rid of the Hammer.
Just wanted to flex.
How many times did you think you forgot a 7th C press in Fructo? Never, because we were tracking C presses. We got scripts.
The original version had a lot more C presses than the final version.
Yeah, we could talk about that at the end of the run, like the path that we took to get to 6. You still don't understand sold out? Just, I don't know.
Okay,
We'll
the
get
point
back
of
to that.
well, okay, here the
No,
point
no,
of
no,
sold
no,
out.
no, 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 no.
Okay, alright, fine.
What-
I'll do it
what-
later.
In fact,
Fine.
in fact, after, you know what? No, just don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, actually explain it. No, no, don't explain.
No? We have free time right now, so do it now.
Don't explain.
When do you want it explained?
Don't worry, chat can explain it.
Yeah, chat knows. Surely.
Explain it, but misinform me. It's because the game gets confused.
that's the reason, yeah. True. Oh, Kita, you
Got
died.
the double
Oh, no.
KO on Volvagia. Okay, so the normal
Oh,
viewer
they're
will
sold out.
notice that we have sold out on B. And I have notes. I have a lot of notes. So get ready to be annoyed at how I explain this. All right. So getting on Epona changes your B button to bow. Everyone knows this. But it remembers what was on B before you got on Epona and saves that as temp B. When you dismount Epona, you get the item back, normally. So the item that's saved at temp B doesn't clear when you dismount, so theoretically, if you do another action that would restore temp B, you can get that item back on B. So in our case, we start with sold out on B, get on Epona, and sold out is saved as temp B. So now it's our goal to make sure that we could get sold out back on B. But there's several things that clear the temp B value, so we have to be careful not to do them, such as getting on Epona, playing a minigame that changes your B button, dying or save warping, RBA or using bottle on B, or anything that dims the B button or like makes it transparent, like entering houses where you can't use B, climbing ladders, or entering water, like swimming. So that whole time that we had hammer on B, we had to make sure not to do any of that. We couldn't climb any ladders, we couldn't enter the water or swim or whatever. Alright, so here's why we needed to be sold out in particular. There's 3 conditions that had to be met. So number 1, in order to trigger BA, Bottle Adventure, which lets us put items on B, we need to have either a bottle or a trade item on B to start the process. And sold out as a trade item. So we have to be able to do Door of Time skip with the item. So that limits us to bugs, thanks to the new trick, and sold out, because sold out behaves like a sword. And number 3 is that the Door of Time skip can't unset the saved temp B, because that would defeat the whole purpose. And then, as mentioned before, using bottle on B would erase temp B, meaning sold out was literally our only option. And that's why we got both quiver upgrades, so that we could get 44 arrows, so that we could get sold out. There you go.
So that works just as Master Sword. It's the same
Yes.
item. And also, that's why we had to skip Bolero, because we get sold out back on B and then we just leave Fire Temple through what would have been the Bolero trigger.
Yeah,
How
so
do you recover
14,
temp B?
14
By
is
dying.
14 is the number of the next item that we're going to have to get. Knowledgeable viewers may know what item it's going to be.
And in fact, we have to BA this item with this cutscene.
Yes.
Yeah, since if you did BA with regular Master Sword pedestal, I assume there's just no way out of that room.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. Which we'll just repeat that same sentence after the cutscene ends, so people understand.
Okay, of course.
But yes.
Getting ahead of myself.
We got both quiver upgrades.
I guess someone could explain Bottle Adventure, not me.
Yeah,
Is
Everyone
there
knows
something
Bottle Adventure
more?
by now.
Yeah, so Bottle Adventure is when you go back and forward through time, the game has to remember what item you had as adult to remember to equip it again next time, so that, you know, if you have Master Sword on B as adult, it remembers that to equip it as Master Sword and not Big Oran Sword later on. But also, when you go back and forth through time, it also has to make sure to update your bottles to make sure your bottles have the same contents and stuff. If you have a bottle on your B button, the game sees, oh, I have to remember what that bottle is for the next time you go back to adult. But the way that the buttons are laid out in memory is there's the 4 buttons, which is B and the C buttons, all next to each other, and then right after those is the buttons that the item slots that they're equipped to. And normally the game just checks 3 slots over to see which item is equipped to which slot. If you have a bottle on C right, it just checks 3 buttons over to see the equip slot of that bottle on C right. But if you have a bottle on B, when it moves 3 slots over, it's actually looking at C right. And so when you have a bottle on your B button as adult, and you're going from child to adult, and the game needs to remember what item to what item to update the bottle to, it's going to look at your C right button and update it to whatever the C right button says it should be. Now, if you remember, the C right button for child was Rita's letter. Rita's letter points to the arrow count, and the arrow count is currently 14. This flashback right here counts as going back in time. You are actually child in this. It's not just like a visual thing. So that counts as going back in time, and now it counts as going forward in time. That activates Bottle Adventure. The game has to update the bottle. It looks at C right. It sees Rito's letter, 14 arrows, and now it puts item 14 on the B button.
You timed that explanation perfectly. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was not intentional to time it with the flashback, but that works out perfectly. So what I mean by Rito's letter points to arrow count. So in the normal item layout, so there's 24 item slots on the item screen, right? And there are 24 item slots, but there are many more than 24 items. So the first few items, they point to their own slot. Like Deku Nuts is item 1 and also item slot 1, starting from 0, of course. But as you go down the list, when you get to, say, empty bottles, empty bottle is item 20, and its item slot value, like, what is it, 22, I think? Or no, I forgot. But the point is, as you go down the item list, each item value starts to not correspond to its item slot value anymore. And when it goes past the 24 item slots, it starts to go into item amount territory. So there's actually like a extended item list that's actually your item amounts, your arrow amounts, your bomb amounts. And so when you get to the bottle contents, bottles are where the item count starts to go over 24. For like fairy is 24, which corresponds to your stick count because it's the first item past the regular item screen. And then Ruto's letter is 27, which is 3 items past the item screen, which ends up landing on your bow arrow, your arrow count.
Good enough. You lost them like halfway through the cutscene anyway.
It was a little dragged out, but I mean it timed it well, I guess.
We got there in the end.
Yeah.
And now we got Boomerang. All we had to do was make all that up. All that was fake. We lied.
Yeah, we just put Boomerang on B.
That was just a bunch of fancy words to ignore the splicing, to ignore the cheating. Just make it sound fancy. Just make it sound fancy, and they just smile and nod.
Yeah, we have to use the light arrow cutscene for Boomerang because we have no way of leaving the back room with just Boomerang on B.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, the door of time being closed means you can't escape. Also, we have We have Boomerang on B. This is the same deal as when we had Hammer on B, except now you can be aware. We want to avoid entering water or climbing ladders or anything that would dim the B button. Because Boomerang is not going to be the last item we get on B.
But Peter, we just entered water in Soros River.
Yes. The astute viewer noticed that we did that and was very confused. But the more astute viewer would be like, the text box from the egg hatching prevented the B button from being on the screen and therefore it didn't dim.
Oh, that's so smart.
And that's why we got the egg. That's actually not why we got the egg, but
that's just convenient.
It's just a cool thing.
If that was not the case, would you have been able to get over the water regardless?
Yeah, you can just sign up closer.
Yeah. So you just wanted to.
It was just
act like it was an extra use for it.
Yeah.
We read that sign to unfreeze King Zora. That sets the permanent flag if you read the sign right when King Zora shows up on camera.
How are we gonna get into Jabu without pressing C?
Okay. This is another new trick. So, people are probably thinking, like, obviously use a tech type, like, what's the problem? But if you're more familiar with, like, the layout, getting into Jabu Temple would not be easy. Well, you'll just see. You'll see.
How can we tech type without a weapon?
Well, exactly. That's one of the reasons why it's more complicated.
Taking the pet tech site for a walk.
Is anyone keeping track of the amount of new tricks in the run?
I can barely just make it over that fence. And then we can just barely clip into the fence. And we have to make sure we don't enter the water.
Oh, wow.
And we do a little ledge pass into a backflip to just barely hit the loading zone with enough speed to clip into the ice and enough height to also hit the loading zone.
Amazing.
It's a miracle.
It is incredibly precise.
Alright, so those of you that aren't familiar with Ocarina of Time might be wondering how we're gonna enter Baronade's room with only the Boomerang on B. Since we can't climb anything. We can't climb the vines. But obviously we could just hit the switch with the Boomerang, so there's no problem.
Yeah, but Kisa, why would we do that when we can just kind of walk through the wall?
That seems much better.
When we can flex.
And just like walk through the wall.
Do a boss key skip for no reason.
Yeah, so you can just go through the walls with 9 speed.
Yeah, that's also new. That's a new trick. We didn't need it there, but
it's cool.
But this is a celebration of Ocarina of Time glitches. Okay, so the Baronade fight is really cool because they put exactly the correct amount of pots, because pots can actually damage Baronade, and they put the exact correct number that you need.
Well, no, they put one more than you.
No, they put the exact correct number.
Silly me, I can't count.
Yeah, so here we go, the best Baronade strat.
Thankfully, pots count as a sword type item. Don't ask.
Yeah, I think they have Fury Sword, regular slash damage.
Alright, like I said, exactly the correct. Don't look at that. Exactly the correct number of pots that we need.
Don't look at the pot in the back of the room, that's still there. Oh, but that comes in handy now, I'm sure.
Oh.
Well, think about it. If we enter that blue warp, that cutscene's gonna put us directly in water, which we don't want.
That would nuke our temp B button.
Exactly. So to avoid water, we use the last remaining pot. It's like they knew.
Thank you for placing a working loading. Yeah.
Yeah, the loading zone. For some reason, they have a loading zone there that works, but it's just super messed up. It loads the wrong room. It loads you at crazy coordinates. Well, actually, the coordinates are correct. The coordinates are right outside the boss room, but the room is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know Ocarina of Time well enough to know, but like, does every dungeon have that, or is it just a few?
Every dungeon has a loading zone, but a lot of them crashes.
It's very inconsistent. So Deku and DC have perfectly working ones because you normally can walk out. Jabu has that glitched one. Forest has a proper exit loading zone, but you can't do it normally. But it would work properly if you could. Fire also has a proper one that works, you just can't do it normally. Waters puts you at the beginning of Water Temple instead of outside the boss door. Shadows crashes, and Spirit works properly. So...
And yes, the astute viewer noticed that we in fact did not beat Jabu.
Yes, so beating the dungeon does count as going in the blue warp, not just beating the boss. So Jabu is not beaten yet, Fire Temple is not beaten yet.
Yep, exactly.
But we can't use the warp in Jabu right now because it would nuke our temp B button. So we'll come back for it later.
We're also getting dangerously close to this water that would also kill our temp B.
Well,
it'd be a shame
as long as we're just touching the water, it's fine.
Yeah. Swimming is the problem.
So yeah, here's the proof you can do it without egg as well. It was cooler to do it with the egg. Convenient little arrow drop there.
And the fairy to heal, because someone didn't give me enough health.
I don't know who that someone could be.
It could be anyone, actually.
It really could be anyone. I would never leave my co-authors with very little health after I was done with one of my segments. Surely that wouldn't happen.
Alright, finally we're gonna do Deku Tree.
Finally grabbing a Deku stick.
Stick?
It is cool that we enter dungeons multiple times.
Yeah. So here's the reason for unequipping Mirror Shield, because Mirror Shield does not reflect Deku Nuts.
Yeah, repeat that sentence. Mirror stick. Mirror Shield doesn't reflect. No, I didn't say mirror stick. No one heard that. Shut up.
A mirror stick.
Shut up.
Great item.
Alright, round 2. This time, we can actually do something about Goma. So, instead of using C-Up, Boomerang puts you in first person, so... There you go.
That's how you skip the C press to look at Goma.
Yep.
But how are we gonna kill her?
Without current knowledge, we can't.
Oh,
I mean, even now with this run, we still can't. But I mean, before this run came out, we couldn't.
So going in there was just to activate the fight.
yes.
Yeah, it shortens the cutscene. So by the next time we come in, hopefully the last time, the cutscene's shorter and you don't have to actually look at Goma. And
Now we have
sold out
back on B.
Yeah, back on B because we followed the rules. We didn't dim our B button.
Yeah, and that means, again, that because Sold Out both acts as a sword, which means you can do door time skip with it, and the game will have to update the B button when going back in time so that it activates Follow Adventure properly.
Yep.
And then we're leaving through this way to get out of Lost Woods, because leaving through the entrance in Kokiri Forest actually activates the Ocarina cutscene, even as adult.
Yeah.
So you get Saria giving you the Ocarina, but with adult Link in the cutscene.
We watch so many cutscenes that it's nice to be able to skip one.
And then here we get the cutscene that is typically not watched 2 hours in.
What? You don't watch this cutscene 2 hours in?
I usually watch it about 2 minutes in.
Ah. With or without intro skip. Sorry.
Intro skip, of course.
So this is the power of overworld movement.
Woo!
Okay, we've done 17 arrows before, so some people that were watching will know what item this will give us. And some other people, they were completely lucid during that event. They saw us get 17 arrows. They saw the item on B and they don't remember. And that's okay, you're valid.
Then there's even more people asking, why this item again?
Stay tuned. And that item is the Kakiri sword.
Yeah, we're child now.
Nice that Child actually gets to do something aside from just going back and forth in time.
I love watching debaters after you say something's gonna happen and then something else happens. So good. So yeah, back to only side hopping, because side hopping is just strictly faster as Child.
Yep, there's no big pose either, so we don't even have a shield. So this is looking like the Blooby Blah TAS.
Oh,
No
man.
one in chat remembers. Anyone that says they remember is either lying or telling the truth.
Yeah, that's true. They're either lying or telling the truth.
50-50, either one or the other. I remember some stuff about it.
This is what TASs used to look like, and we enjoyed it.
Well, you better enjoy it. Do you know how much wear and tear my A button got from this?
Perfect side hops is actually so much easier on GZ than on emulator. So
Yeah,
thank you,
that
Glenn.
is true. Yeah. Thank you, blank. GC is based.
Nice shallow water super swim.
Yeah. It's kind of dumb that you can't carry that into the deeper water, but whatever. Anyway, some more fishing. Oh.
So when child dims the B button, does that also get rid of adults temp B? Or are they separate? They are? Okay. So it does get rid of it.
But doesn't matter, we had sold that when we
Right, it doesn't matter.
picked up the sword.
Explain.
Yeah,
okay.
So
no,
go ahead.
No, I insist.
Okay, fine. When you steal the rod and go in the water, and pause and reset the game, it puts Deku sticks on your B button, and that means Deku stick is not on a C button, which means it's free to use.
It's free, baby.
Child Link can use Deku Stick. It's not a problem.
Yeah, adult can't though. But,
No problem.
We just get past Mido because we don't have the sword and shield equipped right now. So.
Alright, finally going to the Deku Tree.
Surely this time we'll beat it.
Surely.
I have major questions if we enter Deku Tree and don't beat it here.
It wouldn't be the first time we had a 4-trip Deku Tree, right?
What other category would
I can't think of anything that would require 4 trips. So we do actually need to equip shield, which is why we bought it. Not for the mega though. It's for for something else. I promise it wasn't just for the mega.
All right. So for the Goma fight, we have to stun Goma and we have to damage Goma, which is 2 separate things. So that's why we wanted the stick. Because with stick we could do quick put away.
And then we can use that quick put away to get our history. And
yeah, the glitch damage allows us to stun and hit. So we couldn't just do that with Kokiri Sword.
UPA coming in real handy in this run.
Yeah.
Goma was triggered by looking at her with Boomerang, and then the next time you come back, she comes down without you looking at her.
Yeah, if you die to Goma or leave the room and come back, the fight automatically starts the next time without having to look up.
A real cutie says, I can't believe Tektite Hover has a use in 2023. I'm gonna correct the record. We didn't have to do that trick.
Oh, don't say it.
Oh, oh my god. We got lied to?
We didn't have to do it. We just chose to do it.
Yeah, that's the nice way of putting it. Yeah. We chose to do it.
So it's not required in 2023. It's just a dead trick. And it should stay that way. Until the next Lotad, because that would be kind of cool if it's useful. If anyone's interested in what we could have done instead, there's an entire route FAQ written by Toxic Oxygen. Toxic Oxygen wrote not only this route, but all the ones before this, because we found several improvements as we were working on it.
And I can't route, I just press the buttons.
So yeah, you could read the FAQ. The FAQ will be in the YouTube description on my channel when this is uploaded.
Would now be a good time to talk about some of the improvements as we watch this cutscene?
Improvement? Yeah, sure.
Like the development of getting
So,
lower C button presses.
our first pass through, like trying as best as we could to limit the amount of C presses for all dungeons was 17. Then we lowered it to 14. And then once it was at 14, we were pretty sure that that was like as good as it was gonna get. But then Jolin came around and was like, actually, never mind. And then we just kind of found stuff. Yeah, found stuff.
More like we forced him to find stuff.
Nice explanation. The Shadow Temple one in particular, did that save? How many C presses did that actually save?
That I feel like that like completely changed the route because we were gonna like
we were gonna have to get bombs and do the normal bird key skip.
Like do bombs on B, like clip on the hover boots chest, and then that would be, and then like equip sword after that or something.
So it would have been like minimum 3, I guess, for 3 bombs.
No, we'd get bombs on B, so it would have been 1 for so we didn't have a sold out BA originally either, so we had to do the bug push dot skip multiple times, so each time we had to do that would be a C press. So Shadow was at least 1 C press because we'd have to do the bug push, get bombs on B, do the skip, equip sword, and then we have to get bottle back, which is another C press. So really it saves 2 because we have to get bugs on B twice for it.
Yeah, so there was a lot of rewriting because at one point Toxic Oxygen was like, oh wait, we can equip swap hookshot over bottle and that will save a C press, and that changed everything, so we had to redo a lot of stuff. But thankfully with the GZ we were able to stitch the macros together, so we were able to like reuse inputs.
Nice. I assume that's fine as long as like the RNG isn't an issue. Or is RNG?
Yeah. So
GC saves RNG seeds on scene transition. So
yeah. So the RNG isn't the problem, but there's other problems. It's like you have to make sure that what you're using is consistent, and like the global frame counter, that also influences things. If it seems like I'm hesitating to say something, I don't want to say something wrong.
Yeah. So
these are complicated issues.
The RNG seed gets saved on every scene transition, so you can easily manipulate the RNG seed. However, you need to make sure you're still on the right modulus of whatever global frame count is happening. For example, I think it was levers have a dust particle effect that happens every mod 4 frames. So if you enter on different frames, even with the same RNG seed, you get different results because the dust clouds come out on different frames. So that needs to be mod 4 for levers, for example.
Yeah.
Because the game is stupid.
I did quite a lot of macro massaging to stitch things together, but it all worked out. It's not spliced.
It is not spliced. You can play this entire macro back. It is stitched together.
There's a difference.
So was there like a single discovery that saved the most A presses?
We didn't really care about saving A presses.
Or not A, I mean C presses, obviously.
I think sold out probably save the most, because otherwise we'd have to do one C press per time we had to BA.
I'm sorry,
But-
chat. I've been conditioned to hearing A presses significantly more than C presses in my life, okay? Maybe if you guys didn't, if A presses weren't memed about for years, maybe I wouldn't make that mistake this one time.
Alright, so we still have not entered Water Temple, and there's no feasible way to beat Water Temple with current knowledge. So, just something to think about. The run's not done. There's still problems to overcome. Alright, for those of you that guessed Hammer on B, you're correct. For those of you that didn't remember that we were supposed to guess what 17 arrows was, that's fine. Carry on. So yeah, we got Hammer twice. The reason that we didn't just do Water Temple the first time we had Hammer is because you can't enter Water Temple without entering water. Meaning that, by definition, this has to be the last bottle adventure. We won't be able to save Temp B by entering Water Temple.
Yeah. Water Temple completely nukes Temp B as soon as you enter.
Yeah, and not being able to chain BA means that this is just the last one, because to get BA, as we saw, we need to spend C to get bottle on B.
Which is also why we couldn't do the entire Hammer segment in one, because then we
Which is
couldn't
what I
BA
started the
Boomerang
sentence with.
afterwards. Sorry. I'm tired.
Alright, but how are we gonna enter Water Temple without a C press?
I think there's multiple ways.
Oh, that's quite nice. Then we
I
can
wish
do
you,
it.
I wish you told me that. We could have had 6 instead of 7.
Yeah, that goes Temp B.
Yep, so that's it. And somehow we're going to beat this dungeon with just Hammer. And there's the new trick.
That's the trick.
That's actually not. There's new people watching this. I have to set the record straight. That's known.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before.
Hey, did you look ahead?
I know I've just been speedrunning Ocarina of Time for a few years.
Alright,
Now, this is the
another
new
Twinrova
trick.
original.
Oh. Oh my god, it's the same thing.
More out of
Oh,
bounds
boy.
walking. So we're using a hammer slide from the top of the room to get enough height to then do another hammer slide to clip out of bounds to turn it into a out of bounds walk.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's also miraculous that that happens to work. Everything's just like barely possible. Think of all the
You ran
speedruns.
down
Yeah,
strap
that
just
seems a little bit harder than the Master Quest version of that.
just a little.
Think of all the speedrun videos you saw in your life that's like, oh, this is just barely not possible. This Lotad is the ultimate catharsis to that, where everything is just barely is possible.
It's barely possible. Can just barely be done.
Feels good.
And we now no longer need hammer. That Busky skip only works with hammer, so So
And the quick morph fight, and I saw that the giant's knife breaking too.
I required the.
Oh,
I said redo Morpha. I want broken giant's knife.
that's basically what he told me. Yeah.
That is a true
You
story.
gotta make sure that it looks like you have the perfect number of giant's knife hits.
Alright, so still have to collect Jabu, still have to collect fire, and still have to beat the game, reach the credits.
But surely Jabu isn't a problem now that Temp B is already nuked.
Sure.
Well, stay tuned.
Giant's knife got equipped right after entering the boss door. The hammer was just the last necessary use of the hammer was just the boss key skip.
Yes, you can remove the sold out thing from your mental notepad.
Yeah, the 10-minute explanation of sold out was when you were supposed to cross that out. Gotta love all the cutscenes in this run. Only skip the ones that matter.
We're staying lore accurate, or something.
I don't know. I think the lore is getting a bit messed up, considering you already watched Light Arrow cutscene and yet Sheik is here.
Well, that's why Link's surprised. He's like, Sheik, huh?
How are you still here?
Sheik escaped Ganon on her own. Oh my god.
Well, I don't have to go save her now then.
Yeah, I guess the game is solved.
Now we just need to the rest of the dungeons. We don't need to save her.
Yeah.
Alright. So now the only item available to us for the rest of the run is Broken Knife. Now we could obviously equip Master Sword, but
That's
thematically, Broken Knife. It's just a nice item to end on.
Pretend that we can't equip Master Sword. Also, astute viewers would have noticed that I rode Epona all the way to the center of the lake, but she wasn't there when we were finished with the cutscene. She just goes to the beginning of Lake Hylia for some reason.
I think it's so that Epona doesn't get underwater if you leave her like in a place where that gets covered in water.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the cutscene.
Yeah, they probably just like have a certain radius check and just say like if Epona's around here, then just throw her at the beginning.
Wait, how do you get the
frog?
Is this why it's 1.0 only?
This
1.0
is why it's 1.0. So we have to get egg to be able to get frog, and then to get frog you just hold R while talking to King Sora on 1.0.
Yep, that is what the egg was for. So erase the question mark on egg and put a period, because that's just solved.
Yes, the egg hatched into a frog. It was a frog egg the whole time.
Well, I actually hatched into a chicken earlier, so it morphed into a frog afterwards.
Oh, true.
So, you know how in Super Metroid, after you beat Mother Brain, you have 3 minutes to escape? You could think of this as like the same concept, except we have a lot more to do. We have to enter Jabu, collect our medallion, I mean stone, and we have to beat Fire Temple, and we have to get to the credits.
Was that Gossip Stone text just to delay the timer?
Perhaps.
I don't think it does delay the timer.
It does. It does delay the timer.
Okay. I think in MM it wouldn't.
So, again, turns out you can just, like, pretty easily clip in Jabu. So we head out there. Actually, that one's a little bit precise. But then, just like before, we can just walk through the wall in the room before the boss room here, and just side hop into the boss room again.
Except this time it's actually useful. It's useful because how else would we get to here in time? We wouldn't be able to hit the switch.
There's not
It's
even a
true.
door to open if you could hit a switch. Nope, no magic this run. Magic alone would require 7 C button presses. More C button presses than the entire run.
Yeah.
So magic
Double
is
the amount
important.
of C presses for magic.
Yeah, so it's important to skip that one.
Alright, what's the timer at? Not the real timer, the fake timer, the frog timer, that's what I'm thinking of. What's the frog timer at? Because
It's
that's how
like
much
1
time
minute
we
30.
have. Yeah, we have
126
90
maybe?
seconds. Or something. We'll find out. We'll know soon enough.
Speed frog timer.
Putting the speed in Speed Frog. Okay, yeah, 90 seconds.
Yeah, just about.
And we have Bolero, but we can't play it. For obvious reasons.
Well, we could play it.
For those in chat wondering why we can't play Bolero, I'm not gonna explain, but you're valid. It's fine that you don't understand why we can't play it, I'm just not gonna explain it.
Like, technically, we could play it.
It would just cause a number to go up. A bad number to go up.
So yeah, we have to get all the way to Fire Temple, and all the way to Volvagia's room. And we have to refight Volvagia. Okay, we don't have to refight Volvagia, but still, we have to get to the Blue Warp.
Fighting
And-
Volvagia twice would have been a banger end to the run.
Yeah, we don't have a way of delaying this timer. Okay, we have 16 seconds.
Oh no, we're gonna run out of time.
Better hurry. Oh.
The timer's not expiring. What's happening?
Oh, now it expired. And there it
Oh,
is.
that's the credits. So
There it
yeah,
is.
you can. That's effectively a task-only trick because you need to mash B every frame to delay the timer. And then have the
Yeah, and
timer
then
activate on the same frame that the warp would usually take you away, and then you get one warped here.
well, that was a great run.
Alright, well, I can mention what potential C-press saves there are.
Sure.
There's not really any, but magically, if you could cross the Shadow Temple gap without C, that would help. If you could use Hookshot with the same C press as equipping it, that would help. If you could enter Forest Temple without Hookshot, that would help. And if you could kill Phantom Ganon without ISG, or get ISG without Navi in the Phantom Ganon fight, that would help.
That feels like the most realistic one. Just find some way to get ISG.
Yeah, I think if we get 5 C presses, the most likely is like a death ISG or something.
Actually, wait, could you not do shield damage ISG? Or no, the electricity hit goes through the shield, right?
Yeah. Navi ISG was our only option, and death ISG wouldn't work either. What is the significance of 221 for Lotad Day? So February 21st is actually the anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series, which is a complete coincidence. That's not why.
It's true.
It's true, but it's a coincidence. The real reason is that I uploaded Majora's Mask in 2 pauses on February 21st. And then 1 year later, Ocarina of Time 100% in 3 pauses was uploaded on February 21st, which was also a complete coincidence. And then when I noticed that, I had to keep the trend going. So this is the 9th year. For 9 years in a row, we did a Lotad, a commentated Zelda 64 Lotad for February 21st. Meaning next year is the 10th year. So I will see you next year. I don't know anything else. I have no other information. But yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome of this Lotad. I'm glad that I had a team of 9 people working on this, because it really came out with a product that was greater than the sum of our parts. And everyone was just as enthusiastic about it as I am, because I love this game, and people were very happy to work on it, which I really appreciate. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, viewers.
Do you want to give a shout out to everyone individually? Do you have them down for what they did?
I do have a list of credits for the YouTube description, but I'll just shout everyone out real quick, just by name, in alphabetical order. Cabbage72, Blank, Jolyn, O12, Kaztalek, Natalia Has Died, Pancake Turtle, Save State, Tharo, Toxic Oxygen. That was the low C team. So yeah, that was Ocarina of Time, all dungeons in 6 C presses. Thank you.
All right, yeah, that was great. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed. Chad, did you all enjoy? Yeah, everyone loved it. All right. But yeah, thanks guys for doing this run. I guess we can go raid someone before we go.
If Pancake wants to raid, I don't have any.
Yeah, do you guys?
Oh no, don't give it to me.
All right, I'll just try to find someone real quick.
Right, remember to end the local record and upload it to me so I can put it on YouTube.
Of course.
Oh, if Cabbage is actually streaming, Cabbage was one of the contributors. Cabbage72.
Yeah, Cabbage 72. He's live right now, yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, here. Everyone go raid Cabbage. He's doing Hundo right now. Hundo no SRM. Or no, Hundo SRM. The better category. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.